What's going on, guys? Welcome to Exis Network. I am your host, the pinnacle of Gacha gaming on YouTube, the one. And in this video, we're going to be going through the Brown Dust reroll guide. But before we get into it, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and check us out in the Discord at Exis Network. And in the description, I'll have a link to my personal channel, the one. Make sure to subscribe to this as well. Alright, so without further ado, let's begin. So, a buddy of mine, Clint Wolf, the mobile messiah, him and his community made this spreadsheet. So shout out to them, and I have a link to this spreadsheet so you guys can look at the information on here for yourself. I'll have a link to this in the description. So yeah, and before we look into the reroll guide, this disclaimer, major disclaimer, all content is from the final beta test, which just concluded recently, and is subject to change upon launch. And yeah, this is a work in progress. It will be updated ASAP when more information is available on launch, which will be June 22nd. So yeah, let us get into it. So let's go to reroll guide. Okay, so before we begin, we would like to say that rerolling is not entirely necessary, as there is an infinite reroll present in the game. While this banner doesn't contain all characters on launch, it does have quite a few good units, so we will recommend some of those characters for those who wish to do the bare minimum to get their account on a good track. And this is true, guys, so you don't have to reroll on the rate up banners or whatever. You know, there's no need to do it. You get that, you get the infinite reroll. Bear in mind, I think the infinite reroll isn't really infinite. It's only 50 multi summons, and obviously each multi summon you're guaranteed a 5-star. But there is a limit on that. So you have a 50 multi summons to pick what 5-star you want. So like I was saying, you don't need to roll on the rate up banner, as you know, you get already a 5-star character on there. So the reroll process for this game isn't going to be very tedious as in most games. And yeah, so let's continue on. So the infinite reroll. Just before completing the tutorial pack, hello Ellen, you will be brought to the draw page to do your infinite reroll before continuing the game. During this, you will be able to pick one exclusive 5-star weapon and one 5-star costume to start your account with. And the way this game works, guys, is when you pull, you summon for costumes. And if you don't already own a unit, you're gonna pull for the costume. And if you don't already own the unit, when you get the costume, you're gonna unlock the character. So the costume and the character come hand in hand. And you can obviously equip multiple costumes onto a character, and obviously, you know, change costumes mid-battle. So yeah, so like I said, one exclusive 5-star weapon and one 5-star costume. So yeah, costumes available on the infinite reroll. So these are going to be the 5 stars. You will be able to I don't think all of these are 5 stars, but these are all the costumes available on the infinite reroll. So the first one is White Reaper Justia, and not recommended unless okay with dupes. You obtain this costume for free later in the game. While we do not recommend choosing her, she's a great choice if you want to let your Justia do more PvE wise. The next unit is Knight of Blood Justia, and you obtain this costume for free later in the game. While we do not recommend choosing her, she's a great choice for PvE. Next is the Sharpshooter of the Mist Gray, not recommended. So you obtain this costume for free later in the game. We do not recommend taking this costume under any circumstances. So yeah, you do not want this dude. Next is the Lapis Witch, Skezherazade, brother, I can't say this, bruv. Skezherazade. Bro, her name, this name sounds like she's African or some shit. But anyways, bruh. You obtain this costume for free later in the game. We do not recommend taking this costume any under circumstances. So, as you can see, most of the game's gonna give you a lot of 5-star units just from playing and completing story packs. So you're gonna get a lot of 5-star characters for free. So there's a lot of units on here that you don't want to be re-rolling for. So next, medicinal herb tracker Lathel. You do not want to go for this dude because you get him for free. Next is Alec the Destruction. He is my favorite character in the game. He's also here. Destruction Alec is a strong fire type costume that does true damage based on 200% of his attack. Very strong single target attacker. Next is Killer Doll Lasilis. She's PvP and PvE recommended. One of the only costumes that have a taunt feature while also reducing incoming damage. Though the skill is a bit on the expensive side, great tank type unit. Then there's Top Idol Helena, PvP and PvE, highly recommended. The only AoE costume that reduces damage for the entire team. Very strong support, unlikely to get power creep, so she's really good. The Curse Celia, PvP and PvE recommended. Large AoE skill that does decent damage and reduces enemy attack for a few turns. So she's a great magic AoE debuffer. Next we have Gentle Maid Anastasia. She's PvP and PvE. She's a good option for those game modes, and she has plus shaped AoE that has the ability of doing 100% crit damage, but she needs crit damage. She needs crit percentage on her gear, or the assist of Irene's. She has the ability to do good damage in most situations, so she's a good AoE physical DPS. Next is Lovely Lady Elise. She's a PvP and PvE good option. She has plus shaped AoE that does physical damage and reduces enemies' magic resistance. She's a good option for those interested in a magic build. Let's move on. Next we have Piercing Magic Bow Elenir. She's a PvP good option. She has roll AoE that does some damage and strips buffs off enemies. Strong against enemies that have buff front lines like Rao. She's a good option for those interested in PvP. So she's a very good. She's almost a must for PvP. Next is Steel Engine. I think this is the last unit. Steel Engine Rafina. She's PvP and PvE recommended. She does plus shaped AoE that does large damage and strips enemies' barriers. Good options against enemies that have a lot of shields. Good physical AoE DPS debuffer. Now she's a really good unit, like very good. But we just need to see in the end game like how many enemies are gonna be having barriers. If there's a lot of barriers late game, then she's gonna be an amazing unit. So yeah, next it says, while we have recommendations, you don't need to follow them. Feel free to choose whoever you enjoy, and this is true, guys. Like I said, I'll be going for Alec, but just make sure you go for a unit that you actually enjoy. That is the most important part. Next we saw, obviously those are the 5-star costumes / characters you can go for. So now we're gonna go through we're gonna talk about the exclusive gears in the Infinite Reroll. So it says you are able to get exclusive weapons and exclusive gear for all units available on the banner, and it's not guaranteed to get the exclusive weapon or the costume you pull. So you can't technically choose any exclusive gear you want. However, we recommend pulling for either Justice's weapon, since you get both of her costumes for free, or the weapon of your chosen character. Like for me, for example, I'll be going for where is he? Alec the Destruction. So I either want Alec's 5-star exclusive weapon, or Justia's 5-star exclusive weapon. And the reason being is Justia is gonna have a rate up banner. And then true reroll. Congratulations on completing the infinite reroll. After you clear the tutorial pack, so this basically is going to be how you can do a true reroll. So after completing the tutorial pack, you unlock the ability to roll on the Rate Up banner. This is where you now spend your tickets and gems from pre-registration. Depending on how deep you want to go, you can either keep your account from the infinite reroll and call it, or you can choose to try and go for the Rate Up banner. So in conclusion, guys, these are the units these are the costumes that you will be in the banner. And like I said, in the reroll, it's going to be 50 multi-summons, and there's going to be 1 5-star and 1 5-star exclusive weapon, and it's not guaranteed to get the 5-star exclusive weapon of the 5-star character that you get. So, but it is recommended to either get the 5-star exclusive weapon of your chosen character that you're also getting in the multi, or for Justia, as she is the Rate Up banner. So that is basically the reroll guide. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Like I said, a link to this spreadsheet will be in the description, so make sure to check that out. So that's the end of the video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share the video with your friends. Take care and peace.